This money? Or is this money? Is this money? Some people believe that this has no value at all. Fuck. In this video, we're going to learn about money. How it's made, where it comes from, and most importantly, how to hold on to it. Whoa! The Wacky Scam Warehouse proudly presents Why Are You So Poor? Apparently, money comes from banks. But what even is a bank? And where did they come from? To answer that question, we're heading back. Way back. Over 4,000 years ago to ancient Mesopotamia. The ancient philosopher, Homer, declared that money can be exchanged for goods and services. But we're not here to talk about the oldest bank in the world. The real fun in banking came much, much later. In my very own country of merry England. In 1694, some wise guys got together to create the Bank of England. And ever since, profits have been, well, enormous. The year is 1694. And the man on the throne is King William III. A man known for two things, being broke and really hating the French.
Kill! 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 Filthy bastard!
French.
I hate him! I hate him!
You may have heard how expensive it can be to assemble a miniature army in Warhammer 40k. But the king, well, he wanted to do the thing for real. So as you can imagine, the costs were about 3 to 4 times larger than the average trip to Games Workshop. King William needed just a small loan of around $2 million, which is the equivalent of around 250 million in today's money, or about 480,000 cows. William was like, "Hey man, can you help me move house? It's only gonna take like 22 million days. You'll be out of there in about 6,000 years. So, who even had 6,000 years of money to lend him? Basically no one.
Denied.
No one really wanted to lend to this guy. He needed a new plan. Eventually, to solve the problem, a group of money men formed together like Voltron to create the organization known today as the Bank of England.
Form feet and legs! Form arms and torso! And all form the head!
I am the Bank of England.
Gordon Brown's big sell-off. The late 90s. Nokia phones, Britpop, and one of the worst financial decisions in recent history. Between 1999 and 2002, then Chancellor of the UK, Gordon Brown, sold off over 400 tons of the UK's gold reserve. Brown thought he had a good deal and locked in a price of a cool $3.5 billion. On the surface, this looks like a quick win. The only problem was, price was about to skyrocket. Which is around half the price of this chain if you're interested. I'll do you a good deal. Just like a teenage boy looking to purchase cannabis on the streets of Camden Town, our Chancellor got ripped off and sold our country's gold reserves at rock bottom prices. Well, cheers, Gordon. Cheers to losing all that money for us. Imagine pawning your nan's ring for the price of a Big Mac to find out it could have been worth a yacht only 3 years later. So if you're feeling like 4,000 times poorer than you should be today, well, now you know who to blame. Man, that 400 tons of gold would have really helped through a global pandemic. And besides, what did we even do with the money anyway? We bailed out the banks! It is said that the Federal Reserve holds over 6,350 tons of gold. No member of the public has been able to verify that the gold bars are there for hundreds of years. But don't worry, we have it on good authority that the gold bars are definitely there. Gold that provides the foundation for the global economy even actually exist? You've probably heard that banks run on trust. The only problem is, who trusts a bank? And if you're on the inside of one of these esteemed institutions, well, you'll know their biggest secret. They're all wizards, conjuring money from thin air.
Banks create additional broad money whenever they make a loan. It is sometimes overlooked as the main way in which money is created.
Money is created.
In fact, loans create deposits, not the other way around.
Have you ever stopped to think how banking language has crept into our everyday life? About the phrases we use every day, like I'm banking on this, or I'm counting on you. These phrases trace back to a time where a bank was a symbol of absolute trust. Have you ever wondered what happens when a bank just loses money? Let's take a closer look on how money just simply can disappear. One example is in 2008, when people went to the bank Northen Rock to withdraw their cash to find that they'd completely run out of it. Jesus Christ, Sharon, get all the cash out at Northen Rock. I heard there's gonna be no money in them cash points. Excuse me, can I ask a quick question? No, we're closed. In 2010, there was a wave of high-interest payday loan companies like Wonga and QuickQuick that began to appear on the UK financial scene. These companies offered quick, instant loans with little to no checks and were often just run out of the back of someone's house. These loans quickly gained in popularity and started to attract interest rates of over 400%. One payday lender even charged 16,734,509.4% APR. Around this time, the pagan infidels at the Church of England began to invest in payday loan companies because they said, you know what Jesus would like? Probably around 12 to 15% more profits, am I right? Maybe that's why they call it Lent. One of the major reasons for the 2008 financial crisis was the bank's misuse of CDOs.
Collateralized debt obligation. It's important to understand because it's what allowed a housing crisis to become a nationwide economic disaster.
Imagine a CDO as a pack of Pokemon cards, but when you open it, all you get is a bunch of energies and a sticker for your mate's rave.
Hold on. Say that again. CDO A has parts of CDO B, and CDO B has parts of CDO A, but then they both get put inside CDO C.
Yeah, that one's called CDO squared.
Most of these CDOs are low-value Weedles, but occasionally you get the rare, high-value, shiny Charizard that everyone wants to collect. But here's where it got pretty messy. They started to make synthetic CDOs.
And then there's CDOs made up of the opposite side of the bet you made with your swaps. We call them synthetic CDOs.
That is fucking crazy.
It's not. It's awesome.
People who couldn't even afford to buy a single home were suddenly able to buy multiple houses. You get a mortgage. You get a mortgage. Over time, this created a bubble, which, as everyone knows, had to pop. Once too many people had homes they actually couldn't afford, the market was flooded. People's mortgages reset, monthly payments skyrocketed, and houses started going back to the bank. And when prices crashed, it took the whole financial system down with it. While we were told to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, tighten our belts, and stop eating avocado toast, the banks were sitting back, putting their feet up, and laughing. The wealth inequality grew, as banks got back to business as usual. In a way, bailing out the banks was kind of like giving a gambler more money to enable their addiction at the slot machines. But these days, when a bank gives you a loan, they're essentially saying, here's a bunch of numbers that we made up, go buy a Greggs. In the modern banking system, bankers are able to print unlimited money. But we keep getting a lot poorer. It only exists if you believe hard enough. Will you take the red pill and get unlimited quantitative easing? Or take the blue pill? As these bankers print more and more money, it actually devalues the pounds sitting in your pocket already. This fake £20 note used to buy a week's worth of groceries, but these days I'd need to fake at least 50. So we've spent all this time looking at banks, but do we know how to get rich yet? That's the question, isn't it? The big question. These days it seems like everyone's got an answer. Stocks into bonds, invest in yourself, invest in some companies. Money doesn't grow on trees, right? Trees. Trees don't grow money. Trees grow leaves. Leaves! I get this. Who's printing it? The government, banks, corporations, maybe all of them. But where does it come from? Some sort of group of aliens, right? But they're using numbers. What do the numbers mean?
What do the numbers mean?
Oh, fake. Isn't it?
Escape reality.
Debt,
Debt.
Federal Reserve.
Federal Reserve. Economics. My child. Now you know my secret.
Imagine me sitting at the head of the Federal Reserve. The money printer is in front of me. And at just any time, I'm able to press this create money button and power the global economy.
Where does it come from? You just print it. As a central bank, we have the ability to create money. We also print actual currency and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
You can't just print more money.
I saved the economy.
We're trillions of dollars in debt. The debt to GDP ratio is out of control. Who's going to pay for it?
Haha. Money printer go boom.
The Liar's Guide to Making Money with bank robbery.